The world can be a cruel and unforgiving place. As we journey through life, we place our trust in others, in institutions, in the very fabric of our society. But what happens when that trust is shattered? Imagine waking up and realizing everything you believed in was a lie. Fortunes wiped out, lives destroyed, trust shattered. In this series, we will delve into the dark underbelly of human nature, exploring some of the biggest scams that shook the world. Stories of greed, deception, and the devastating consequences that follow. Repeated throughout history, a cautionary tale for us all. Our journey takes us now to the gleaming towers of corporate America, to the cutthroat world of high finance, where fortunes are made and lost in the blink of an eye. Here, in the heart of this concrete jungle, thrived a company called Enron, a titan of the energy industry. Enron was the darling of Wall Street, a shining example of American capitalism at its finest, or so it seemed. Its executives, ambitious and ruthless, became masters of the universe. Their every move watched, their every word analyzed. They preached a gospel of deregulation, of innovation, of limitless profits, and for a time the world believed them. Enron's stock soared to dizzying heights, making millionaires out of its employees, many of whom poured their life savings into the company. But behind the dazzling success story, a web of deceit was being spun. Enron's executives were engaged in massive accounting fraud, using complex financial instruments and off-the-books partnerships to hide billions of dollars in debt. They manipulated earnings reports, portraying a picture of financial health while the company was teetering on the brink of collapse. They played a dangerous game, and they played it with ruthless efficiency. But like all empires built on lies, Enron's reign was destined to end. Whistleblowers sounded the alarm. Journalists began to dig deeper, uncovering the truth behind the facade. And then, the house of cards came crashing down. Enron's stock price plummeted. The company filed for bankruptcy, the largest in American history at the time. Thousands of employees lost their jobs, their pensions, their life savings. The executives who had orchestrated the fraud were eventually brought to justice, but the damage was done. The Enron scandal sent shockwaves through the world, exposing the dark side of corporate greed and the fragility of trust in the modern economy. Consequences of unchecked greed, and more global in its reach. Chapter 5. Protecting Yourself. Knowledge is power. As we've journeyed through the annals of history, examining these elaborate schemes, a common thread emerges: the exploitation of human vulnerability, the seductive power of greed, and the devastating consequences of misplaced trust. But amidst these tales of deception, there's a glimmer of hope. For in understanding the tactics employed by these master manipulators, we can better equip ourselves to identify and avoid falling prey to their schemes. Knowledge, as they say, is power. By educating ourselves about the mechanics of scams, by being wary of promises that sound too good to be true, and by conducting thorough due diligence before making any investment, we can significantly reduce our risk of becoming victims. Remember, if something seems too good to be true, it probably is. Don't be afraid to ask questions, to seek independent advice, and to trust your instincts. If something feels wrong, it probably is. It's also crucial to be aware of the psychological tactics employed by scammers. They often prey on our emotions, exploiting our fears, our greed, and our desire for quick riches. They may use high-pressure sales tactics, create a false sense of urgency, or try to isolate you from trusted advisors. By being aware of these tactics, we can be more discerning, more skeptical, and ultimately more resilient in the face of deception. Remember, vigilance is our greatest defense. The world of scams, much like the natural world, is a complex and ever-evolving ecosystem. For as long as there have been those who seek to deceive, there will be those who fall victim to their schemes. But by understanding the patterns of deception, by recognizing the telltale signs of a scam, we can become more discerning observers of this often unseen world. Stay vigilant, stay informed, and remember, the truth, much like a rare and precious species, is always worth seeking out.